Hello everyone, welcome to another session from Automation Mentors, and we are covering in this sessions about Playwright with Java. So today I'm going to cover about one of the important feature which we basically using for interacting with critical web elements, or when we want something to be when we are not able to use the inbuilt functions from the automation tools library like Selenium or Playwright, then we require something to interact with the browser level or at the client level. So we are using basically JavaScript Executor. So we know there are different methods are available in JavaScript Executor. So let me show you. So if you want to learn JavaScript, so there are a lot of website which will help you to understand on JavaScript executors. Okay, so let me show you few of them. Okay, so basically it, as I mentioned, it runs at the client level. So there are a lot of methods are available. We can execute the script, we can create some kind of alert, so we can also click on particular web elements, we can get the URL. There are a lot of websites. So one of the good I have seen in the website called Geeks. So here you can see all those scripts and all. So basically, in Playwright we do not need to use this one, but if it is required, if some some business or some places where we require this kind of execute to be, we have to execute, then in that condition it is good to have to know how to use that one. So let me show you how to use that one. So let me create a class here, testing with JavaScript Executor. Okay, so I'm creating a class. So now I'm going to create a main class here. Now I'm using the Playwright or create the same function. Either we can copy or we need to write it. Let me write it, so it will be a good practice for everyone to understand. The return type will be Playwright, and here I'm using the instance of Playwright to launch the Chromium browser. Okay, so this time let me launch the Firefox browser, and I want it to launch here, and I want that to be done in headless, not in headless mode. Okay, so I need to make it as false. So let me do it, set the headless as false. Okay, and here let me store in browser, and the return type of browser is browser. Okay, so now we are going to utilize browser dot new context. This time I wanted it to run in separate window, so that's why I'm using browser context. The return type of browser context is browser context. Now use this browser context dot to create a new page, and we are using in page. Okay, so return type of page is page. Okay, now page dot navigate. Now we are going to navigate to URL. So this time let me navigate it to one of the website. Let's take google.com only, google.com. Okay, so now let me fetch the URL from there. So for to fetch that, we have to use the evaluate function, and here we need to write the particular JavaScript execution. You see, have you seen right here? So there are a lot of functions are there. There are a lot of functions are there available. You can use any of them. So let me write a very simple thing. So let me fetch the URL from there. So for that we need to use document. Okay, that's a syntax you need to learn basically, otherwise it is very difficult to go. Or there is a good what we can say, good documentation over Playwright as well. I will show you there. So href. Okay, so this will fetch your URL. Okay, this will be fetching URL. Let me print it here, let me shout it here, system.print.println, and let me print it here. So this will be printing that one. Okay, our URL. Okay, now let me write here as well. So the URL is, the URL is this one. Okay, okay, let me this. Now we are going into let me do it right away, this one, then we'll see that further we will see. So this will open Firefox and Google, and this is done. let me go back to my console. Let me see. Yeah, you can see on the console we are able to see URL is this one. That means this function is working properly. Okay, so let me add one more thing on JavaScript part. So let me create a box somewhere here, okay, as a text area, and there I need to type something. Okay, so that also we can do. So this JavaScript, as I mentioned, JavaScript executor is working at the client side. Client is our Firefox browser, so that we need to do that. How to do that? So page dot evaluate, again I'm using the evaluate function. Okay, here I need to use the some kind of lambda expression we need to use. That will save our time. And lambda expression, there are some syntax you need to remember, so that I'm doing here. Okay, now going here I'm going to add that one. So let me write it, document dot create. So I'm creating a text area. Okay, create a text area. For that I need to create an element. So this is a method for that. Let me write it as a text area. Okay, this and also let me save this in constant. Okay, so text area, for example, I'm using this as a constant and the return type is constant. Okay, so this I'm saving in text area. So let me use this one. Okay, and whenever we are writing JavaScript execution function, we have to make sure that we are using proper and with the semicolon. Okay, next is here I'm writing. So let me add here, let me add document body dot append. So this is I'm adding here, and the area which what we have mentioned here, that is text area, we need to put it here. Okay, so now let me add to focus it so that it will come on the UI. So for that text area dot focus. Okay, this is a method we need to use. So this is fine. Okay, so this will help me to create a text box. I don't see any issue, but that's fine, we'll run and see. And let me type something as well. Okay, so page dot keyboard. So keyboard is, I will cover in this upcoming session about keyboard, what are all things we can do it from keyboard. But as the name you can see, it is using a keyboard feature of the machine, and it will type, it will help you to put the data from the keyboard. So let me type it. Okay, so what I want to type here, let me type here, hello there, this is lecture number 6. Okay, about JavaScript executor. Okay, so let me see, let me dot. Okay, that's fine, I'm not closing the browser. Let me run that one, we'll see that how it will work. So it will open now Firefox. Now you can see google.com. Great, you can see this is a browser, and you can see on the left side, right, left bottom corner, we are able to see this lecture number 6, whatever we have given, right, this is skin, we can expand it and we can see it properly. Hello there, this is this lecture 6, JavaScript executor dot. Okay, so you got it, right, how to use JavaScript executor by using in Playwright as well. Okay, so that way we are not dependent on any third party library. We can directly interact with the client, and we can get the work done. Okay, so let me show you one thing. As I mentioned, playwright.dev. So if you come here, we will see a lot of let me show you JavaScript. Yeah, so you can see there are a lot of functions, as you can see, right, this is printing the href, all links and all. Also we can use different function, different environments we can use. So these are all functions you can use, all JavaScript functions you can directly use here. Okay, so let me show you if we have something else, but you can come here and you can do that, all those script and all. But if you want something, you need to pull it from outside. Better you can go and Google search, do the Google search, and you can get different functions and you can explore that more as well. I believe this will help you to understand how JavaScript executor you can use here. And thank you for listening me. In our next lecture we are going to cover more about different features of keyboard, and soon we will cover about API testing, how we can perform from Playwright. So please be listening, be comment on my lectures, so that if I see any challenges, if you see anything to be added on my lectures, please feel free to comment there. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.